This is the one almost everyone kills themselves with. If at all possible, what's it say? Don't go first. Never negotiate against yourself. The biggest mistake most people make is they kill themselves like going first in this situation. So, anybody ever bought anything privately from somebody? Privately? When I was, 16 years old actually, I bought my very first car. Anybody ever same thing? Yeah, it's their first car. So here I was so excited, all right? Oh, actually, I was going to buy my first car, is a better way to put it. I had saved up, amassed a total of $5,200 in my whole life. And I see this car advertised, and it's an Astra. And does anyone remember what those Astras and Vegas, and they were saying Astra, and it said, button-down leather roof, interior, racing steering wheel, and I was so excited to go to it. But I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I only have $5,200, and he wants $6,000. It says $6,000 minimum, okay? And I said, should we go over there? He goes, well, doesn't hurt to go over, see what happens. So I only had 50. I took all the money I had. I even scraped up pennies to show him that that's all I had. I brought, my special piggy bank. Remember that brown one? Brought that with me. Everything. And I go to the guy. He shows me the car. I love the car. It had a stick shift. It was incredible, right? This is a Harv car. Oh my God. Okay. And I'm going, definite chick magnet. I know it. Okay. I will finally get lucky. All right. So here I am. So. Why else do guys buy a car, right? 16, there's no other reason, right? Check the back seats, they look good. Okay, we're good. Good to go. All right. So, hey, I know what you're thinking, and yeah, you did that too. Okay. So I go to the guy. I said, how much is it? He goes, it's $6,000. I go, I said, listen, I only have in my whole life $5,200. Let me show you. And here's the pennies, and here's the guy. He goes, how much is that? I said, $5,200. He said, sold. I went, are you kidding me? He goes, no, I'll do that for you. I went, thank you. Oh my God. And I'm shaking his hand. I'm almost kissing the guy. And my father's just like this going, So, he drives, I take the car and everything right out, and I'm driving home, and I'm so thrilled. I'm just, dreaming about, this is fantastic. I have my own car finally. And all of a sudden it dawns on me. I said 52, and he said sold. I said, that was pretty fast. That was easy. Maybe it was too easy. What if I could have got it for less? You idiot! And I learned that so harshly right there, okay? And of course, when I got home, I said to my dad, so how do you like my car? He goes, you're an idiot. And he walked away. That was my father. He goes, you're an idiot. Walked away, right? I went, okay. I got it. So I guarantee that's why it is on there, and it's always on there. Yes or yes? All right. So, of course it was worth it. So it's best, if at all possible, if at all what? To get the other partner, to get the other party to go first in any situation. Because you don't know their position. They might be much more generous than you had guessed. Good example. I had the fitness equipment stores, yes? And here I was, I had the 10 stores, and they were doing pretty well, but it was early. It was only a couple of years into the game, right? And I was bent on growing them, et cetera, et cetera. And I said to my accountant, you know what, if I ever wanted to sell this company right now, what do you think I could get for it? He goes, well, you started with $2,000 on your credit card just a couple of years ago, 18, 19 months ago. I think you could probably get maybe $600,000 for this. I went, whoa, are you kidding me? He goes, no. I said, well, because I'm looking at some other opportunities too, and the usual, right? And I said, yeah. He says, I think we could probably pull that off. I went, wow, that's great. So sure enough, as intention would have it, a little while later, I have Heinz come in, and the president's looking at the company and all that kind of stuff, and the president of actually the Canadian corporation who brought the American guy in. And he's looking at it, and he goes, yeah, we've looked at the financials. Everything looks really good here. He says, what do you want for the company? I'm thinking Astra. I'm thinking my dad. You idiot. I'm thinking, My accountant, 600,000. I go, well, you know what, Walter, you do this all the time. You know, you're in mergers and acquisitions, and I don't. What do you think's a fair price? And he goes, I don't know. It's a very early company, but yeah, we can probably throw a million at you. And I'm thinking to myself, did he say $1 million? Is that like dollars or pesos or what? I mean, it's a different time. Today, $1 million is nothing. Then it was like a millionaire. So I go, I said, you know, I was kind of thinking that, but that would be after all taxes are paid from my side and after all expenses. If I could net the $1 million, I might be able to go for that. He goes, yeah, we can do that. I'm going, oh my God. And I go, yeah, well, I'm definitely going to consider it. I'm thinking, I'm rich. I want to show my mother I'm not a bum. Oh my God. This is a very important one, so I'm giving you some examples. Yes or yes? So anybody here like football at all? Football? Some of you? Okay. Again, I used to live in Vancouver. The company's based in Vancouver. And we used to go down. I used to take my son to the Seattle Seahawks game sometime. They're a football team in Seattle, obviously. And so here I am. And I never buy tickets ahead of time. I always go through the scalpers because, you know, I like to negotiate and have some fun with it. So here I am. And normally the scalpers are in the front of the stadium. They're going, who needs seats? Who needs seats? Who needs seats? Yes, yes, right? And I kind of turn the tables all the time. I always do the same thing. I'm the one doing the yelling. And I go, who's got the best seats in the house? I'm walking and I say, who's got the best seats in the house? And people show me all their garbage and everything. And I see this guy, he's kind of like hidden away under some trees, and he takes one step out, and I see him, and he goes, and I'm going, okay, I'm either going to get mugged here or I'm going to get a good deal, one of the two. So he steps back in here. I go, he says, you asked for the best seats in the house? I got the best seats in the house. He says, I only have them for special customers. And he pulls out these 2 tickets. And I go, I take a look, and it says club level. I say, that's good. And then he's smart. He undoes his jacket, and he pulls out the map of the whole stadium, laminated, right on him, right? No, of course, the good ones, the smart ones know what to do. It's a laminated map. He says, okay, there's the seats, right? I'm going 48-yard line, row 16, club level. You're not going to get better seats in the world, okay? Perfect, okay? 16 is right. Too low, you can't see. These guys are big. They can't see with their helmets. Perfect, yes or yes? And they serve at your seat and all that. And I see right on them, it says face value, like the real ticket, is $220 per ticket. So, of course, I'm remembering this over there. And I'm saying to him, I said to him, so he says to me, what will you give me for him? He's smart, right? And instead of throwing out the first number, I heed and hawed, and I used the 7 magic words. Why are you ready to write? Here's what I said to him. What's the least you could live with? What's the least you could live with? Are those powerful words? Because it's not like aggressive. It's just asking a very normal question. And the person's going to go right to the what? Least that they can live with. What's the least you can live with? And he goes, he says, I could probably do $300. My son, who is over there, is going, Dad, that's only $600. I go, shh. I said, that's for both, right? And he goes, yeah, sure, here you go. So they were, face value was $440. I got them for $300. They were the best seats in the house. They should have been $6, $7, $8. Pittsburgh Steelers were playing. It could have been $1,000 a ticket. I got them for $300 for both. Why? Because I didn't go first. I didn't assume anything. Because you cannot assume. You don't know where and how he got those tickets. He could have won them on a radio station. He could have got them from a season ticket holder who just drove by and said, listen, I can't get rid of these here. I can't go to the game. Give me a couple $100 to take them. You don't know. You don't know anything. Why would you put your foot in your mouth and kill yourself? First, find out. Does this make any sense to anybody here? Raise your hand if any of you have ever in your whole lives done this one right over here. Okay. You're not going to do that again, right? Because you don't want to hear what my father would say to you, would you? All right. All right. Please stand up for the declaration. Put your hand on your heart. I let the other party go first.
I let the other party go first.
Again, please.
I let the other party go first.
One more time, twice as loud.
I let the other party go first.
Turn to somebody, give them a double high five and say, you have a girl up, this is mine. Was that worth everything, that one? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? In the real world, yes or yes? Now, some people say, what if they won't go first? Sometimes that happens. They won't go first. So you have to give them a good rationale for why they should go first. Well, good rationale is, again, like I do with him, I say, listen, it's your product. You know your costs. I don't know them. What do you think would be fair? Good or good? All right. What's it say, please? Have an objective in mind. Have an objective in mind. Now, let's suppose for some reason, a situation, there is something out there you want. It's a ring or a bracelet or whatever it is, or it's a suit, and it's $1,000 is the cost, okay? Is the price tag on it. Now, let's say you make an offer of sorts. They say, how much is it? The guy says $1,000. And you say, you know what? And let's say you want to get it for $800. Let's say $800 is your objective, yes? Are you with me so far? So you say, well, you know what? 1,000 is a little high for this. I'll give you $800. I would never speak like that, but I'll give you $800. Let me ask you a question. In your logical sense right now, for the most part, again, there's always exceptions to all of these, yes or yes? We're just giving you generalized. What would the end result of that negotiation probably be? And that's your opinion, yes or yes? See, everybody operates out of the same opinion because they want to be what? Fair. Most people, if they're going to negotiate, want to do it what? In a fair way. You were taught to be fair, especially in this room. I mean, not everybody wasn't out there. All the criminals out there were not taught to be fair, but you were programmed to be fair. Say, I was programmed to be fair. Because when you went to school and you did something, they would say, what? That's not fair. You're a bad person. She said, okay, to be a good person, I should be fair. Yes or yes? So you're programmed. So is everybody. So for the most part, this is going to end up at $900, which is more than your objective. So if you want this for $800, what are you going to need to do here? What would your situation come back would be? You'd probably have to go to what? $600 here in order to get your $800. Now, very important in your wording here because people want to split the difference, right? So don't say, well, it's only worth $600. Nobody wants to hear that. Here's what you might want to say. You say something like, you say, well, how much is it? They say, well, I can give it to you for $1,000. You say, well, gosh, I was kind of thinking for myself, like in the 600 range-ish. Is there any possible way you can work with that? Like, listen to the way I do it. Listen to the words. They're not aggressive. I'm not saying the thing's only worth that. It's just, I take it my ownership. I was thinking in the range of, maybe the 600 range or something like that. Is there any way you can kind of work with that? If you were on the other side, would you take that as a slight? Would you say, well, I can't, but how about, right? Yes or yes? So I'm not confrontative. I'm never confrontative. I was thinking in the range. Well, I was kind of like, I had a little budget in mind of maybe like the 600 range-ish. See? Range-ish doesn't say, I'm stuck here. It says, come back to me with something. Yes or yes? Is this worthwhile? Yes? I was thinking like the 600 range-ish. Is there any way you can work with that? Right? Give it to them now. All right. Please stand up for the declaration. Hands in your heart. I negotiate with an objective in mind.
I negotiate with an objective in mind.
Again, please.
I negotiate with an objective in mind.
One more time, twice as loud.
I negotiate with an objective in mind.
Turn to someone, give them a high five. You have a girl, a business mind.